Okay, I'm Kody Shugars, and I go to Telluride High School. And this summer, I got an amazing opportunity to go to Iceland. So I got to go to northwestern Iceland, right up there in the Skagafjordur region, and I stayed in the third largest town in Iceland called Söderkrókur, which has a population of about 2,700 people, so about the same as Telluride. But before I got to go there, as Sarah mentioned earlier, I had to go to a field school so I could become more educated on archaeology, because the dig that I worked on was a dig that only had doctoral students, professors, and students trying to get their master's, so everyone was a graduate student there. So I did this dig down in Farmington, New Mexico at a dig site called Point Pueblo, and I did that for about 3 weeks to prepare myself, and it was amazing. I had tons of fun and met some amazing people down there. But the project that I worked with on Iceland was called SCAS, which stands for the Skagafjordur Church and Settlement Survey, that is put on by the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and also Northwestern University, and is helped and supported by the Fisk Research Center. And as you can see right there, that is one of the things that we do, which is called geophysics, where we walk along with some little instrument that shoots radar into the ground, and by doing that, we can create very beautiful, colorful maps that tells us, well, what's down there, and it makes digging a lot easier. So this was my team, and I got all of my different professors here. I have Doug right there. I have Rita and one of the Johns over there. I have another John right there, and yeah, and they're all 4 different professors. Was a lot to deal with, and amazing. John was my main professor and the leader of the project. And in Iceland, one of the biggest things are the dogs. They're everywhere. They're all Icelandic sheepdogs, and they're amazing. But you're not allowed to touch them. So my daily routine would be waking up in a warehouse and walking over to another warehouse to have breakfast, which consisted of 1 piece of toast and more coffee than I needed. And then it was straight to the lab and then right out to the field, where I would go out and core with these big long sticks that you shove into the ground and then pull up, and you look at what's inside of them, and based off of what's in them, you can tell what's beneath you, and tons of different stuff. And it's really cool. And then I go back to the town of Söderkrókur. We would go to the public pool system because we didn't have a working shower, so I got to go to hot springs every night, which was very nice. And we got our dinner made by a personal chef every single night as well, which is absolutely amazing. And then, so modern archaeology is the study of human history and prehistory through the excavation of sites and the analysis of artifacts and other physical remains. So in Iceland, archaeology is very special because the Vikings did not make their houses out of wood and rocks because they chopped down all of the trees within the first 100 years. They made their houses out of dirt, which is kind of hard to find because when you think about it, you're looking for dirt and dirt, which gets very confusing. But as you can see here, these are the Temporal Layers, which are created by Iceland's volcanoes, which make dating things very, very easy. And my friends get mad when I bring them up because they're very confusing. And then over there, every single one of those little dots are holes that we put in the ground with the core. So we go all over farms on a small island called Hegraness, that is a river island in the middle of Skagafjordur. And kind of what we ended up finding out while we were doing our church and settlement survey, though it is not completely over and they still have 1 more summer to go, we have found that we didn't really expect this, but we have found plenty of churches that are in adjacent farms, which means that churches, like Vikings owning churches, may have been more of a kind of luxury thing and more just for the richer instead of a communal thing, which kind of changed later on in history. And yeah. And then fun in Iceland, I mean, how can you not have fun in Iceland? I was extremely lucky that I got to go there. I got to go to Reykjavik, their capital city. I got to go to a place called the Althing, which is a place where you can literally stand in between the gap from the North American continental plate and the European Asian plate. And yeah, and that's how dark it got at night. So it was almost 24/7 sunlight. And then that's Thuvr, which is very fun. And then that's a little Puffin. And yeah. And then thank you, of course, to everyone. I had an amazing internship. I'm very grateful.